Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. I am sitting in front of 3 fat piles of cards, and it is about time. It is about time we got ourselves a pick-a-pile where you decide which number, which pile you would like your message to come from. So if you're new to Ho, welcome. If hoeing ain't nothing new to you, then you know what we're about to do here. And I'm going to shuffle this little number deck and get us some significant numbers that will help clue us in which pile of cards has the most customized and tailored message. Now, there are always those who just listen to the whole shebang and receive all the good tidbits of info. All right, so I got the number deck. I miss you. So you know that there's a lot of cards here because I was like, oh, they need a soul flower. Oh, they need number 62 is our first number. They need a witch's kitchen. They need an energy card. They need to watch me throw cards all over the floor. There's essential oil. There is, I'm trying to think what else. Witch's kitchen, plant spirit oracle, healing, herbal healing deck. Ooh, divine abundance deck by Tasha Silver. There's all kinds of shit today. Like, you will love this. And anyways, our first pile is number 62. 62, if that means anything to you, then maybe your message weird. Our second pile is 72. So we've got 62 and 72. To tell you the truth, if I had to pick between the two of those, nothing. I don't know which one. Neither one's like more significant than the other. I mean, I might look at it like 6 plus 2 equals 8. And 7 plus 2 equals 9. Okay, well, looking at it that way, I'd probably pick the 9. And our last pile is 69. There we go. That number certainly set itself apart, didn't it? I'm like 62, 72, nothing special there. 69 rolls up and says, hold my beer. Everybody knows my name. All right, so very good. Which one are you going to pick? That should say a lot about you. We're going to start with 62, of course, but you get to pick either 62, 72, or 69. Dun, dun, dun. This Affirmation Minute is brought to you by our sweet little herb of the week, chickweed, and I offer them all to you. I move energy with my mind. I strengthen my self-confidence. I give gratitude for all that I have in this now moment. I release heavy memories and start fresh. I appreciate the little things. I offer grace and compassion for the inner wisdom I have received. I move energy with my mind. I strengthen my self-confidence. I give gratitude for all that I have in this now moment. I release heavy memories and start fresh. I appreciate the little things. I offer grace and compassion for the inner wisdom I have received. And so it is. Yeah, and then there was chickweed this week. Thank you very much for hanging out with a 2-month-long week But if you're listening to this in the future, you won't even know about that. You won't even know about that. All right, so let me grab number 62, our first pile. Your choices were 62, 72, or 69. And yes, I wanted 69 to be 82. I thought that would have been so freaking cool, but no. No, that's not how it went down. 62, 72, or 69. Okie doke. I'm not actually really lining up with any of the piles, which usually means for me that every single pile is gonna hand me my ass. It's going to give me lots of messages. I barely have room to put all these out. Okay, so you've got the number 62. We're doing the first pile, y'all. 62. 6 plus 2 equals 8. So this is numerology in 8, which means what to you? Eternity, everlasting, infinity, going on and on and on. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. Then you have a gypsy witch and a forager's playing card. Those are going to be our cardamom C, which reminds me I got to get out my notes so we can look those up with the cardamom C playing card messages. You have a rat race card, the essential oil card, which is Botanic Whispers. You have a Witch's Kitchen, Soulflower, Plant Spirit Oracle, Herbal Healing Deck, Divine Abundance, and this energy card by Mario Duguay. All right, so, some of the usuals that I've been doing and working through, but also try to put in a little new flavor for you. All right, weirdo. Flip over the rat race. The rat race card is Unabashed Joy. And on the front of the card, it has a little book called The Joy of Life. And on the back, it says, do you know what makes you joyful? Do you know what makes you joyful? Be very specific if you can. If you don't know off the top of your head, think of the last time you felt really good and remember what you were doing. You probably should have picked the third pile if you're like me. What brings you joy? I enjoy all things, but truly, there's only a few things that I freaking absolutely love. And yeah, I know what they are, and that's why I like doing them. Focus on and engage in activities like making podcasts that directly feed your sense of joy as often as possible. Make doing something joyful a daily priority. Daily, on the daily, you need to do something that is joyful to you. And like the trees said yesterday, that might just be just for you. You got to follow your own inner guiding star. Facing that need squarely may allow you to drop other activities and behaviors that were less direct means of getting the same thing. So make it very aware to you what brings you joy. If dancing in the kitchen brings you joy, you need to do it every single day. Literally, just 5 minutes of shuffling in your slippy socks, okay? Maybe it's taking a bath. Perhaps it's getting outside every single day, regardless of the weather, getting a walk, going on. Maybe it's your pet, maybe it's your dog, maybe it's, I don't know, what makes you joyful? That's the question. Unabashed joy. And if you're going, I don't know, then you need to think about the last time that you felt really, really good and ask yourself, okay, well, what was I doing? Laughing my face off, right? Or just, it doesn't even have to be humor joy. I mean, it can just be I lost track of 3 hours because I was painting this picture or drawing or playing the piano or swimming, or I don't know, what brings you joy? It literally can be different for every single person. All right, so far number 62 is talking about joy. Your cardamom seed card from the Gypsy Witch is a King of Hearts, and you also got a cardamom seed card from the Forager's playing cards, the Queen of Hearts. So you got the King and Queen of Hearts, and you also got this joy. So if being with your sweetie brings you joy, then yeah, do that. Make that a priority. Make sure that you guys connect every single day. So the hearts are all about issues regarding emotions in the home, and you got the queen and the king. And this, my notes are just very basic. The queen is a nice woman with fair hair, and the king is open-hearted man who gives good advice. So, all right, not giving us much to go on there, but I like the theme so far of joyfulness, and now we're working in harmonious partnership. Oh, the Forager's card, by the way, has a hazelnut on it. All of the nuts that grow wild in our hedgerows and woods, the most worthwhile are undoubtedly hazelnuts. These ambiguous, that's not a word I would normally use, hard-backed brown beauties can be found in many hedges and woodland. Roadside hedges are often easier because the nuts are simple to see when they drop onto the pavement. All right, so we've got hazelnut, and then the King of Hearts has a man and a woman's hand coming together, like shaking hands, like partnership. Hand in hand indicates confiding disposition. When in then it just goes on to this other shit. Friendship will warm into love. So, like, if it's in close proximity to 38, 39, 42, or 47, like if I was doing a whole reading with this deck, then it's going to indicate that friendship will warm into love. But if it's near 45, favor will be found with superiors. Near 48, financial success. It's really only good news. It's like either this good news or that good news, or maybe this good news. So it's all good. Oh, aren't you lucky if you picked the first pile? Let's get you smelling sweet. Your essential oil aromatherapy card is tangerine. New ventures, promotion, and dreams. So yeah, maybe you are going to hook up with your superior. It's a new adventure. Unabashed joy. Okay, your new thing is being happy and doing what you love to do. Now is the time for me to take a chance on a fresh venture with a happy heart and a positive mind. Success is the only outcome. So the flip side of this would be demotion and negativity, but we are not going there today because we have the King and Queen of Hearts, we have unabashed joy, and now we have a joyful essence, literally tangerine, one of the best things you will, I was going to say ever lay your eyes on, but you're smelling it. One of the best things you will ever lay your nose on. This smell of tangerine and orange and grapefruit, all those citrus are so happy. So freaking happy. Just think about how good it smells when you peel a tangerine or a clementine. It just really like uplifts the whole room. So a new venture, a new dream, a happy dream. So take a chance on yourself. Do something every day that brings you joy. I wanted to go to the Soulflower next, but I'm feeling called to turn over the Witch's Kitchen because, like, I feel like what's stopping you? Ugh, this could be the part in the reading where, like, we throw a wrench in the wheel. Like, what's stopping you from doing this? It'd be cool if, like, the Witch's Kitchen is just supportive of this new happy adventure, but sometimes it is real and honest. But I'm going to flip it over and see catnip. All right, good. We're coming in with catnip, which is a bond. So catnip is actually, it has this old ritual use that, like, if you rub catnip in your hands and then hold the hand of a new friend or a new lover, it was always thought to, like, literally bond you together in this new partnership. Now, catnip can also, of course, with the black cat on it, be a message that, you know what, this new partnership or a bond or whatever could be with a familiar, could actually be with a cat, could be with a new pet, could be with an animal. Like, yes, we have the King and the Queen and all that, but that doesn't mean that that's gonna be what it is for you. Like, honest to God, there are a lot of women I know that would be happier having a new cat in their life than a man. And that's okay. And that's okay. All right. Going on to the soulflower, just because I know like catnip is also relaxing and stuff, but it just comes in right now in the reading, just sort of pound in that message of a new venture or a promotion or a partnership. Okay, so this is something that's like hazelnuts are pretty abundant. Like there's a lot of energy coming in to connect more with folks or someone special or a animal. Okie doke. So our soul flower is evening primrose with a message of rebirth. So this new venture is coming in with evening primrose, rebirth. So just because you maybe have lived most of your life not serving your joyful needs, it's not a want, it's a need. Like you need to do something joyful at least once a day. It's part of giving a human what they need to flourish and thrive. So evening primrose helps you to release old wounds and feelings of rejection, self-pity, and other heart-heavy issues you may have carried from birth or early childhood. So now's the time to release that and be open to connecting with others. If you've had a lot of abandonment issues and rejection, it gets harder and harder. The longer you hang on to these old wounds, it will get harder and harder to put yourself out there to connect with people, or even think. It can get so bad that you might not even think that you are worth doing something joyful and fun for yourself. So you've got to release these old wounds. You've got to release the feelings of rejection. No more self-pity. Nope. No more heart-heavy issues, okay? Evening primrose allows for a sort of spiritual rebirthing or a birthing of your true self. So you can make room, listen to this, so you can make room for more joy. More joy, fun, and playfulness in your life. So we've literally, just with these first 6 cards, now made a circle going back to the unabashed joy. Whatever it is that's holding you back, evening primrose will help you rebirth and release so that your true self, which is a joyful being, believe it or not, can shine through, and you can start to make more room for more joy and more fun and more playfulness. It's like you're going to have to start practicing a new vibration if it's not what you've been living. Okay, so that is a new venture. That's a new thing for a lot of people. Okay, let's see what the healing, herbal healing card is, and the plant spirit oracle. I'm so excited. Which one do I want to flip first? I'm feeling like the plant spirit oracle. Okay, it is black cohosh. So sometimes, like, my first thought about black cohosh is diving into your darkness. Okay, but with this card in this deck, it's all about purpose, direction, and vision. So above all else, I want to see joy. Above all else, I want to be directed in a new way, in a new direction, in a joyful direction. That should be my purpose. What is my purpose? Joy. Absolutely. Change the narrative of your life. Herbal healing comes in with poison ivy, with a message of caution. Motherfucker. So yeah, all I can do is think. All I can think about right now with this poison ivy card of 2 things. 1, watch out for the people that would like to take your joy away, because they have none themselves. When you get joyful, it's like a little hyper kid whose staunchy parents tell them to settle down, right? We can totally still have those characters in our lives as adults. You know, it's like, oh, Sadie, you're being so silly, or can't you chill out, weirdo? Right? They just cannot literally handle your joy. So watch out for that. But the first thing it made me think of was watch out for yourself. That's that aspect of your personality that's addicted to your heart-heavy issues, your victimization, your self-pity, the abandonment, the rejection, the old wounds that you carry. You are hooked on them. Oh, but I don't want them. They feel awful. Well, addiction is addiction. And the reason you've carried them for year after year after year is because you're addicted to that negative feeling. So Poison Ivy's saying, watch out for whenever the person who pulls the rug out from under you is you. It's actually you sabotaging yourself. So watch out for that as you start this new venture, this new direction. It takes practice to alter your vision into a more joyful one. But when you declare and affirm to the universe that my purpose is joy, you will manifest that. You have to, because this is like you just keep on getting back up in the saddle. You just keep climbing up on that horse. And you try again, and you try again, and you try again until you get it. All right, you got 2 more cards left here for pile 62. Your divine abundance is faith. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. And we've got 2 hummingbirds on this beautiful, it looks like a water lily, honestly, is what I think it looks like. They're coming into this flower together. There's a little butterfly in the background here and there, 2 butterflies, maybe another type of flower way in the back, some hand-drawn flowers. Just a pretty cool looking card. But I love that there's 2 hummingbirds. I love that we've got the King of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts. I even love that like Black Cohosh came in basically with Poison Ivy. Like, I don't know, it was just, if you can see the cards, they're both like these green characters, these mystical characters. The Black Cohosh almost looks like a little elfin youth, and Poison Ivy definitely has these eyes locked and loaded on being aware. But anyways, there's a lot of partnership. We've got a black cat here. Even the evening primroses, there's 4 flowers in that picture. The hazelnuts are certainly showing up with lots of friends. And the hummingbirds too, traveling together, enjoying the sweet nectar of this flower. So I really feel like this pile is about you feeling very 5 of Pentacles at time, feeling rejected, abandoned. You want to be joyful, you want to have fun, but you got these old wounds of like never being included, or so-and-so breaking your heart, or you're just, got some worthiness issues going on, and you've sort of limited yourself of thinking what is possible for you. Like you have an idea of what would be joyful, and really, you can only imagine good. You have no idea how great it can be. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. So what you can imagine is literally nothing compared to what you could receive if you allow love to open you. And then let the goodness flow in. Let the goodness flow in. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that yesterday with the tree guides, just letting ourselves be taken care of so that we can pursue our success interests beyond the bank account. Like, yeah, sure, we want money, absolutely, but we also want success in our relationships and in our happiness and in our self-mastery. And now 62 is saying, and joy. How much joy can we let in? Beyond what we can even imagine is how much is waiting at the door, right? We're not just going to get our needs met. We're not just going to have 5 minutes of joy every day. We have the potential to literally be joyful beings all the time. Anyways, that's faith. That is the faith card. And finally, your last card is self-love. Self-love. There it is. That's what Poison Ivy was saying. This card is very emerald green, just like the leaves. Just like the leaves in the Poison Ivy, with a message of caution. What she was warning you about is you. It is them self-sabotaging moments that we have that, whether we're aware of it or not, we condescend ourselves and make ourselves believe we are not worth the joy. We are not worth it. And that's just total bullshit. So self-love says, I attend to my needs by listening to my heart. My inner essence lets me know what is good for me. I respect my limits. I answer the requests of my body and my soul. Thus, I learn to love myself. Okay, a lot of times I just end very dramatically with this card, but I want to sit with this one for a minute. Self-love. What does that even mean? It means attending to your needs. How? By listening to your heart. Your inner light, what the tree guides talked about yesterday, your inner essence lets you know what is good for you. That's what your whole reading is about here with 62. Unabashed joy. When was the last time that you felt really good? What were you doing? Your inner compass, your inner essence will let you know what is good for you. What is good and what is not good. You know by the way it feels. So something that you do to respect yourself is say, I know my limits. I respect my limits. I know when something doesn't feel good. I am confident and self-respecting enough to walk away from anything that I don't enjoy. You're allowed to be choosy when it comes to what you do with your time. So if it ain't fun for you, I highly recommend not doing it. So the other part of this says, I answer the requests of my body and my soul. Thus, I learn to love myself. So if your body and soul wants to dance, then you love yourself by dancing. If your body and soul wants to rest, then you love yourself by resting. You know, it's like whatever you're being called to do on this new venture, follow that direction of your own guidance, of your own inner essence, and let yourself do that. And yeah, for a lot of y'all, it is going to be a rebirth into a new way of being, hopefully with others, or at least a cat, into a life of unabashed joy. Well, gonna be hard to top that one. It's going to be hard to top 62, but 72 is going to try. So if you pick the middle pile, that's number 72. 7 plus 2 equals 9. 9 to me is the number of completion. 9 to me also reminds me of the Arcturians. Yeah, it's definitely a number of the universe for sure. And so I'm laying these cards out, and you got all the same cards, except you got doubles of Witch's Kitchen and Plant Spirit Oracle. Because, yeah, 2 came out. So that's what you got. All right, so you ready? Am I ready? Like flying high from the first pile. Okay, 72. Let's get the rat race. Okay, media down and out. So we've got a picture of a television with a red X on it. We've got a computer, red X. We've even got a newspaper with a red X. Media, down and out. In order to hear yourself think, shut off or cut out on the amount of media information you inhale, absorb, and digest. It's fascinating to keep up with the world on an international and intergalactic level, but it can also be a lot of noise and distraction to some of the quieter and more local news events happening inside your own head. Media overconsumption is a good way to numb yourself to more personal issues. Try a media down day. Try a media down day once a week or more, or for the rest of your life, and begin to enjoy the local broadcasting from your own brain. So yeah, like you're like, hey, how's it going? And like the person just gives you the news report or what's political or current events. They literally are more interested in what's happening outside of them than what's happening inside their own head. Does this apply to you? Okay, so maybe this card is saying, yeah, that applies to you. You need to detox. In another circumstance, I'm seeing that whether you realize it or not, like this media consumption that you literally can't hardly walk into, like some restaurants and doctors' offices have, the news playing all the time. It's hard to avoid, people repost stuff on Facebook, but is it bringing you down? Are you needing to just have a little breather because it's like just taking over too much of your thought space? So this media down and out day is encouraging you to take a break. Take a break from it. Okay, sounds good to me. All right, Gypsy Witch and Foragers. The cardamom sea. Interesting. So Gypsy Witch is the 6 of hearts, and Foragers is giving you the 5 of hearts. So we got a lot of hearts, consecutive heart cards so far today in our, I don't know, is this 431? Is that how many freaking episodes I've done now? Who can say they've listened to them all? All right, number 3 is the 6 of hearts. It says the house denotes, there's a house on it, just like a little shed looking house. The house denotes success in all ventures. If present condition is unpleasant, the future will be happy and prosperous. Also predicts marriage. And the 5 of hearts is horse chestnut. Chestnuts are small and brown with white tops. They look somewhat like buckeye nuts, although this one is poisonous in comparison with the buckeye nuts. All right, and cardamom sea, 5 of hearts, 6 of hearts. 5 of hearts is jealousy surrounds you. Make a considered decision. And 6 of hearts is a happy coincidence. Unexpected good fortune. So there might be some people who are jealous of your unexpected good fortune, right? You're having pleasant, happy, prosperous events in your life. Maybe you're getting married. There's some jealous energy. I don't think you're the jealous one. Although I will tell you that TikTok has this filter that it has all these emotional words buzzing on the top of your head, and it picks one and then gives a percentage. And I just did it just to see. I didn't publish it, but it picked jealousy for me, and 81%. I'm 81% capable of jealousy. That cracked me up. But I would not be jealous of you if you were doing good, in your life. But yeah, some people might be jealous of your 6 of hearts. So, keep in mind. All right, moving on so I can see where this reading's going. Your essential oil is black pepper. Yep, definitely energy of envy here. All right, so yeah, somebody is definitely jealous of your ass. Maybe not your booty, specifically, but the good fortune that it seems to attract. So black pepper is saying, don't let that slow you down, okay? Like, you are on a winning streak right now. So continue to employ fearlessness and utilize your stamina and strength. And say, I fearlessly venture forth secure in the knowledge that I have a never-ending reserve of strength that can be summoned at my will. So don't let the media bring you down. Don't let other people's jealous shade bring you down. Keep on going. All right, where are we going, Soulflower? Coming in with calendula. So calendula does have a message of communication. So I feel like the cards are saying, like, listen, maybe you should say something to this person, though. I mean, communicate if you're feeling like there's enough envy to be addressed, because you don't really want that negativity to demotivate you, okay? Just because they're sloths doesn't mean that you need to slow down for them. Like, now it's time for you to set the pace of your own personal race. And calendula has a message of communication saying, our thoughts and our words have great creative power, both positive and negative for ourselves and others. So just like the media is like in your head way too much, giving you way too much negativity to digest and chew on all through the day, calendula says, hey, I can help you soothe your thoughts and your words with warmth and compassion and understanding so that there is a balance between assertiveness and receptiveness in communication with others. So you don't want to be like harsh to people, like, fuck off if you can't handle my success. You don't want to be like that. You want to say, hey, like, I have a lot of good things going on in my life, and just sometimes, like, am I picking up a vibe that, are you happy for me, or am I picking up a weird vibe from you today? Like, literally, there's a way to be super direct and assertive with people and still be kind and still keep those lines of communication open. So if you feel like you need to do that for your own benefit, because maybe this person is an important person in your life and you would like to give them the opportunity to keep up with you, keep speed with you, stay on the respectful list, like give them opportunity to right this wrong. I mean, it is wrong if somebody's like not happy for you for being happy and successful. I mean, that's genuinely enough to be like, jerk, right? But you don't want to just jump to that without giving them an opportunity to maybe fix their thinking. All right, Witch's Kitchen. You had to bring in two. Yep, tea tree and olive. So olive does have a message of peace, and tea tree is a binding message. So we are on the right track with this pile from 72. Yeah, we want to give this person an opportunity to still be on our friends list, to be able to be invited to our success party. It's like whoever is throwing jealousy your way is an important person. Like, you don't just want to kick them to the curb. That would make you sad. It would, you want to keep the peace. And the mature and responsible thing to you is to communicate that you feel like there's an off vibe, you're picking up something, maybe give them a chance to explain, or, really it's like give them a chance, an opportunity to clear their negativity. Like, what are they wrestling with? Maybe this is an opportunity for them to surpass this old pattern of jealousy. And, you really would be a good friend to give them that, or at least attempt to keep the peace. Then if not, hey, it is what it is. And sometimes you do have to, like I said, keep on going with your stamina and your strength. But certainly communicate it first. Give everyone the opportunity. All right, Plant Spirit Oracle is coming in with comfrey and black raspberry. So now we have more hummingbirds in our life on the comfrey with the rainbow colors, with the comfrey roots, the chakras. And also then we have black raspberry. We've got a bear, like a grizzly, black, brown. It could be any type of bear. I have no idea. And there's 3 hummingbirds, by the way. So we have black raspberry and a bear who's just munching, munching, munching. The black raspberry card has a message of indifference, apathy, and untouchability. Now, comfrey has a message of resources, personal power, and wealth. So here's the thing. I'm not encouraging you to be an asshole, oblivious to those who might not be excelling the way you are in your life. But it's like, listen, everything is getting better and better. 5 of hearts, 6 of hearts. Doesn't even matter the horse chestnuts are poisonous. Like, you are doing really well for yourself. And this personal sense of power is a gift to you from the universe. You've utilized your resources, you've put in the work, you've got the stamina, you've got the strength, you've just had this good fortune come your way. You've been prosperous, but it's because of the energy that you have put out. You did the work, you stepped away from media, you cleaned up your thinking, you cleared your head, you started paying attention to the news feed of what is right for you. Now you got somebody throwing jealousy, throwing shade, and you just kind of have to be that big old grizzly bear sitting in a thicket of blackberry thorn bushes, eating raspberries like you don't care. There's just no other way to put it. Like, after you have communicated, given that person an opportunity to clean up the energy, quit throwing jealous shade at you, hopefully things get better with that person. But if they don't, that's on them. You basically just have to detach and be indifferent to it. You are untouchable. You are literally doing so well that someone's negativity and jealousy and whatever else, that envious vibe, which is really, it's not a good energy. It really is not. It's not going to affect you. You are absolutely untouchable because you have just built up this energy reserve of resources within you that has led to you having personal power. Dang. Yeah, no wonder you can do like Black Pepper said and be fearless now. Practice fearlessness because you are really headed in a really good specific direction. But I want to see what the herbal healing deck brings in because I'm kind of curious what direction that is now. It's Devil's Club, reclaim power. Yeah, that was the whole direction. That was the whole path. Personal power, reclaiming power. When you stepped away from the narrative that the news is like feeding you, what society is trying to get, society tries to keep you down and trainable and controllable and depressed and fearful, because when you're fearful, you're very easy to control. You'll do what you're told. So Black Pepper, fearlessness, Devil's Club now, reclaim your power. Be the black bear. Be like, listen, I'm sorry that the news sucks. I just can't even get into it. I mean, it's the most compassionate indifference I have to offer the world. I'm just going to eat these blackberries. Well, that really does reclaim your power. That really does add to your personal wealth, your personal power. Your place of power within you, especially that sacral chakra and solar plexus, that is like more valuable than all the gold in the world. Yeah, amazing. But yet at the same time, we've got Olive coming in with peace. We have Calendula coming in with communication. Like, this is a type of dignified, humble, respectful, like just really responsible power. I'm feeling like that too. It's not like oh, he's on a power trip. No, it's not like that. Like this is true sovereignty. This is true power. So bind, Tea Tree says, bind yourself to that energy. Bind yourself to the newsworthy topics inside of you. You want to really be like kind of self-obsessed right now in a good way, but it's self-fueling. It's putting your energy back into yourself, reclaiming your power. Okay, your divine abundance is trust. And we've got 3 monarch butterflies, hands, palms open, receiving. And it says, trust. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. Exactly how to handle them. So yeah, we can feel a lot of peace when we hand it over to the universe, to the divine, to just knowing that, you know, everything we need will come to us, we're taken care of. We have this newfound kind of personal energy coming in with this reading. Maybe marriage. I just can't get away from that 6 of Hearts for a second, that little house. What is it that you want? Now that you've like reclaimed your power, got rid of the haters, either because you communicated with them and helped them clean up their energy, or you had to just, you know, release them and be indifferent to the shade, what's your deepest longing now? Trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. You give it over to the universe, to the divine, to God, to spirit, to source, whatever word you want to use. It's saying you're on this good path. Now trust. Trust, one, that you have a never-ending reserve of strength that can be summoned at will. And trust that you are in good hands. You are in good hands, and the divine energy of the universe knows exactly how to handle your deepest longings. Yeah, you just say what you want, and then you go sit with the black bear, eat some black raspberries, and let it all manifest beautifully. Now, speaking of beautiful, so your last card is also trust. So you literally are ending with double trust. 2 trusts. Trust plus trust equals more trust. You've got to trust. You've got to trust. You're doing what's right? You're releasing negativity in your life. Media, haters, lack of communication. Like, you want to trust that you being honest sets the tone, sets the vibe, charts the course for exactly what you want. I trust life and my strengths. Each moment guides me to the light. Everything on my path is placed there for my growth. So black pepper, fearlessness, stamina, strength. Trust says, I trust life and my strengths. I have a never-ending reserve of strength. Each moment guides me to the light. To the light. Calendula just absolutely adores the sun. And this card matches the colors of the calendula flower and the sunset behind the house on the 6 of Hearts. Just every moment guides me to the light. I just allow myself to be guided. I try to stay warm and compassionate and understanding and fearless and strong and, you know, absolutely. But having this perfect balance of peace within me just guides me to the light. Everything on my path, the raspberry thorns, the black pepper envious sloths that sometimes show up, the miscommunications, the negative media that I needed to overcome and release, everything on my path, everything is placed there for my growth. It gives me an opportunity to reclaim my power. So I really appreciate the challenges because it helps me grow. So I trust the divine to know exactly how to handle everything. If it's on my path, it's there for a reason. And the reason is my growth. And the reason is my personal power. All right, we made it to the last pile, 69. How many of you have chosen this pile? How many horny pervs do we have in the group? You are my people. Okay, 69. Also, is that, well, astrologically, which one is that? The Gemini? That have like the two fish? I don't know. I am not an astrologist. Not at all. Like, yeah, occasionally I'll have a few prejudices against a few star signs, but that's the extent of me knowing the symbology. But yeah, it's a very balanced number, 69, obviously. It's like a flipped mirror, kind of also reminds me of the energy of the yin yang. And 6 plus 9 is 15. And okay, 15 gets reduced down. 1 plus 5 equals 6. So it's actually a very loving number. And yeah, it's an enjoyable number. Okay, so 69. Did you pick this pile? All right, let's see what it has for you. The Rat Race card is Just Be Yourself. So for the listeners who listened to the whole thing, but they did not pick pile 69 because they're like, oh, no thanks. No thanks. I would never pick that number, ever. That is not for me. I do not feel comfortable with that number. Its first message is, why don't you just be yourself and be comfortable who you are and accept who you are and love who you are. And, yeah. It's a lot simpler to be yourself and not worry than to try to be the person you think your family, friends, and strangers want you to be. Who really knows what they want anyways? A life of integrity is one lived as your natural self, not as some fictional character made up to accommodate and please those around you. So be yourself in all your glorious quirkiness. You may be surprised how many people like you for just that. So we've got this little lady looking in the mirror and she's giving herself a nice little smile. Just be yourself. Be full of integrity. Be comfortable in your own skin. Like, that's attractive. Someone who is themselves, who is full of integrity, who's not trying to be something they're not. Right? Just being your natural self and all your glorious quirkiness. All right, so moving along. Witch's Kitchen and Forager's playing cards. Good Lord, I thought we were going to get consecutive suits and numbers again. But we got the 4 of clubs and then the 5 of spades. So we did get a 4-5. The numbers are funny today, aren't they? All right, 4 of clubs is Snowberry. And 5 of spades has a coffin. Maybe your fortune is you will die during sex. Okay, with that, does that happen a lot? Something that I think about now that we're all getting older. 4 of clubs. Clubs are all about money and finances. The 4 of clubs says changes for the worse, lies and betrayal. The spades are indicating roadblocks to your path or other difficulties. That could be a problem. The 5 of spades says expect interference in your happy home. Shit, I'm glad I didn't pick this freaking pile. Reversals of fortune that will be resolved. Okay, so we got interference in your happy home. We have changes for the worst. We have lies and betrayal. We have a coffin. that foretells acute illness or loss of property when near the person. When distant, a probability of averting evil. So it could kind of go either way. Snowberry is a common snowberry. It's a deciduous shrub that produces pink flowers, white fruit. Birds will come to this feast upon the drupes. An important note, all parts of this shrub are poisonous to humans when eaten. So you got a poisonous berry, you have a coffin. Uh-oh, I'm so sorry. I'm glad that you're going to just be yourself. Yeah, maybe all this horribleness potentially happen will just make you more true to who you are. Okay. Do you want to move to the next card? Are you uncomfortable? It's literally making me uncomfortable, these two cards now together. But you could avert evil. The 5 of Spades does say that. You could advert evil. So let's hope that that's the case. All right, your soul flower is transmutation. Yep, it's the case. You're getting a heads up. You're getting a warning. But you can change your environment by changing yourself. That's how hydrangeas work. Transmutation. Now, we are all affected by our environment. Hydrangea reminds you to reclaim your power through the transmuting of emotions and releasing of victimization. You not only have the ability to overcome perceived obstacles, you can extinguish them by realizing you can move through them. So if shit's changing in your finances or your happy home life because of lies and betrayal and poisonous snowberries, makes me mad. This is just something you're going to move through. It's literally going to change you up from being a blue hydrangea to being a pink purpley one. And you'll be that much better for it. Let's get you an essential oil. Cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is an oil of the home. It's an oil of protection and comfort. However, the flip side of cinnamon could be exposed, irritation, outsider. So whatever outsider is trying to fuck up your happy home, you need to put that person in a coffin immediately. That's just what the cards are saying. You need to comfort yourself by the message of hydrangea, okay? Transmuting your emotions. You're never the victim, even when you are betrayed. It's just the way it is, okay? It all happens, but you don't have to hold on to it. You can say, I feel safe, warm, and loved within my home. So, yeah, we don't really want outsiders to come and ruin that for us. It happens. I know how awful it feels to have a snake in your house. But you got to do your best to read the energy and change it before it gets in there, I'm thinking. Let me see here. Also, I leave the irritations of the outside world behind as soon as I cross the threshold. So I feel like also this is like a message to protect your home, sacred space. You know, it's like whatever you got going on out in the outside world, you really don't want to bring it home. Might be a little tricky with the 4 of clubs and the 5 of spades. So let's be aware. Let's be very aware. Okay, I want to sneak on over to the Witch's Kitchen right now. Witch's Kitchen has seaweed, which is prediction. Yeah, this is definitely a warning type of message. It is. It sucks. It actually doesn't feel good right this second, but like the blessing is that like you get warned of the obstacle coming up. You're not going to trip over it blindly because we're telling you now that there's an outsider ready to fuck up your sweet space. Is that what this is about? All right, I want to go up to the Plant Spirit Oracle. We've got plantain and stinging nettle. Yeah, it really is, isn't it? So stinging nettle is an irritant, obviously, and plantain is soothing. Really innocent, naive, unaware vibes with the plantain card. Little sweet little lady sitting in the plantain. Stinging nettle is about sacrifice, reward, pain, but plantain is a remedy for stinging nettle. You know, like you can chew it up and put it on it right away. So whatever obstacle, whatever stinging nettle is coming up, just know that the remedy is literally right there. And part of the reason you did, plantain is actually kind of the reason you got stung by stinging nettle, because you were unaware. You were naive. You trusted the snake. Don't fall into victimization because of this betrayal. Know that you will be able to extinguish this pain, move beyond it, move through it. Moving through pain is a reward itself. It really actually is. If you can move through it, don't let the pain poison you. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it turn you into a bitter bitch. That's a reward if you can transmute pain. And that's what hydrangea is all about, transmutation. Whew, sorry. Ha ha, all the people that pick 69. A healing herbal card that you got. The herbal healing deck is Moonflower, which is about death and rebirth. So yes, we do have the coffin. There's going to be an aspect of your life, son of a bitch, you're going to have to let go of. It's okay, because one ending is a new beginning. Okay, so it happened. It is what it is. You move on. How much more clear? You're getting a heads up. It's coming. It's happening. You'll be fine eventually, because you're going to transmute and move through the pain. And then bada boom, bada bing, you rebirth into a badass bitch with a bigger heart. I just want to shrink away and walk backwards from the table, like not even push stop, just literally abandon the podcast. Like, I'm sorry I'm telling you this, but that's what all the cards are jiving to say. Yeah, that's what they're all jiving about. It's like seaweed. Do you ever eat nori sushi and you're loving it, but then you forget to like chew it up real good and that big long piece of seaweed goes down your throat and it chokes you? Yeah, it's kind of like that. Absolutely. All right, so shall we move on to your affirmation cards? Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's not really much else to say other than the strength that's going to get you through all this is you just being yourself. Yep, don't try to be what that person that you don't want in your life truly. Don't try to change yourself. Don't try to, be something that you're not to advert or avoid this impending predicted situation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be you, okay? You want to live a life of integrity. And if other people don't want to live lives of integrity along with you, then it's like time to sacrifice those relationships. It's painful, it sucks, but sometimes you just have to transmute in the most self-benefiting way. Yeah, be yourself, be glorious, be quirky. The right people will like you for you, okay? So just take that, and I'm sorry, and I'll see you next week. So your Divine Abundance card is Acceptance. Radical acceptance in the now opens the flow. It is what it is. Radical acceptance. Exposed, things get exposed, yeah. And all you can do is say, it is what it is. This poisonous snowberry, it is what it is. And once you do that, seaweed says, yeah, Now comes the flow. Now comes the moving along in the seaweed garden of life. Even the stinging nettle now looks like it's flowing. It's kind of getting long and tall and bendy. It's got a, oh, I forgot to tell you, there's a spider web. Yeah, there's a spider web who continues to build its web day after day after day, regardless if it gets knocked down. Moonflower, death and rebirth, every night opening up to the moonlight, blossoming every night. Plantain being stepped on since antiquity and still growing, using it to its advantage. Walking man's foot, right? Okay, so you're going to step on me? Well, then spread my seeds, right? Literally just being, it is what it is, and I'll make the best of it, and I'll be open to the flow of what? Of the good energy, of the cleansing. Sometimes you just got to let the energy flow so fast through you so it cleans you out, cleans your life out, gets rid of the snowberries and the things that need to be buried literally in coffins. Like, oh my God, yeah, this is not for me. You have to see the blessing. Sometimes betrayal, it hurts, but when you think to yourself, this was such a blessing that this person is not in my life anymore, that this liar was exposed, and now I'm living a pure life of integrity because that poison is not in my house. You have to see the blessing to that and really accept it. All right, your last card is positive thinking. My life is full of small patches of light. So yeah, it's like, dang, that really sucks. But guess what? There's a little patch of light. There's another little bit. The positive thinker in me is going to point out what is working, what is good, what is a blessing. And that's going to help that to grow. My life is full of small patches of light. I direct my thoughts to that which brings me well-being. I place what is weighty for me into the hands of the universe. Little by little, the light awakens in my being, and I find serenity. So yeah, I really wish this card would have been with our last pile, because then that would have had back-to-back hands, hands of the universe. But it's okay. It's totally good with this one, because it's like little by little, the light awakens in my being and I find serenity. So yeah, you got betrayed, you got stung, it was painful. You literally had to die and be reborn again. Start over, maybe from scratch. What you thought you had, you didn't. Like, that really shakes you, and it's like a stability thing. You're like, oh my God. But then here's the thing. You're not broken permanently. You get yourself put back together. You really do. You transmute it. You genuinely can and will. Little by little, you'll find serenity. You'll find peace. You'll find a little more light each day. And how do you do that? You place all these heavy topics into the hands of the universe. Okay? You take them. It is what it is. I accept it for what it is. I'm moving on. I'm flowing. I'm transmuting. I'm comforting myself knowing that it is going to get better. My life is full of small patches of light. I direct my thoughts to that which brings me well-being. I place what is weighty for me into the hands of the universe. Little by little, the light awakens in my being, and I find serenity. And then before you know it, you find someone better to 69 with. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with all these cards, with all these messages. I hope you heard a little something that you can take to the bank and deposit it into yourself, into your investment in yourself. That'll just give you what you need, I guess. Oh, anyways, thank you, Chickweed, for offering us lots and lots over the last 2 months. I'm excited to get back on the schedule again for next week. Give you something a little bit to look forward to. We're going to hang out with Basil next week. And we're going to talk about lots of things that we're ready to talk about, like perfection and impeccability and alignment. So holy smokes, we better get ready. All right, you guys, so much love to you. Thanks again for hanging out here at Ho.